Hey everyone, welcome to episode 313, Why We're Lazy. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. That's a very motivating title, don't you think? Why We're Lazy. Before we talk about why we're lazy and trying to figure it out, I want to talk to you about one of our new sponsors called Uproot Clean. And they are a dog grooming kit. And the cool thing is, you can see on my Instagram, and I also posted on Facebook, I did a video about it, all the features. The coolest thing is that you can do it indoors. And when you're cutting their hair and using the razor, the clippings of their hair go straight into the vacuum. It is so cool. It's like this little capsule. And if you have a dog that sheds, this is perfect for that because I have two dogs and they don't shed. But when I do brush them, and when you do brush dogs that shed, the hair goes everywhere. Well, the cool thing is the brush attaches to the hose and all the hair that you're brushing goes straight into the vacuum. So go to Uproot Clean and I will post a link and I think you'll get a discount if you use my link to get your grooming kit. Go to uprootclean.com, choose whatever you need there, and let me know how it goes. Another sponsor that we have is the letter writing that I've been talking to you about. And what I love about the letter writing is so many of you that signed up when I first started talking about it, and now you're starting to get paid. And I am telling you, that is so exciting to me because I love that anybody can do this, 21 and older, and the only thing you need to do to be successful is to write. You don't have to tell anybody. If you want to tell other people about it, that's a whole separate part of the company. But you can just write and not tell a soul and get paid. And so many people are almost like, I don't want to say embarrassed, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. I was a little embarrassed to talk about it in the beginning because people think like, oh, that's a scam. So then that means that Kelly's the scammer or Kelly's gambling or what is Kelly up to? And that seems bogus. And there's just a lot of judgment around it, which I totally get because I was the same way. And so much of what I talk about on the regular is educating people about what this is, what this isn't, and helping people kind of like believe in it and having faith and trusting the process. And anybody who writes will be successful. And you literally are copying a script. You don't have to be creative. You don't have to think of anything. It's literally copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. But instead of copy, paste like on the computer, you're doing it with your handwriting, which is oddly therapeutic. Now, it's not oddly therapeutic for everybody. So if you think writing would be therapeutic for you, reach out to me or click the link in the email and sign up for the training that I did. You can do any type of training you want. I'm just telling you the training that I did was so comprehensive from the start to finish, soup to nuts, everything you need. You can go learn this on your own and with Google. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't even know that was even a possibility. You can go that route too, or you can get the training, which is all in one, what you need from start to finish, from writing to converting. Because I don't want to do all this work and then not have them count, or if they did count, not being able to convert them to cash in my bank account. So if you're interested, click the link in the email or send me an email on Facebook or just reply to the email that I send you on Wednesdays and let me know and I will hook you up, Buttercup. So this is feeling a little deja vu for me because I already recorded this and then I sent it to my editor and he emailed me and said, I'm so sorry, but they're skipping in your episode 313, 314, and 315. I'm like, you're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking. And none of them recorded. So I'm recording this for the second time, and hopefully it will be better the second time with practice, because practice makes permanent. That's what Miss Lettieri used to tell me on the news every single day when I was teaching. Actually, at that time, I was a guidance counselor at Big Cypress Elementary. So a lot of times we put labels on ourselves and then we become those labels. So we might have been told our whole life that we were lazy or that we were a procrastinator or that we were overachiever or that we were perfectionist or some type of negative connotation that we were something. And then we took it on as our own and then we looked for evidence about it. So if you were told your whole life that you were lazy or that you're a procrastinator or that you had attitude or that you were selfish, it's almost like it gets ingrained in our brain that we can't change. And that's just who we are as our character character flaw, and that's who we are. And so we go and act out what we think about ourselves. So that's why I'm always talking about on this podcast to focus on how you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself, and how you move about in the world really matters, because it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Just like I talk about with the kids, you always want to be breathing life into our kids and telling them how amazing they are and how special they are and how smart they are and how creative they are and how organized they are and how much grit they have and how kind they are and how loving they are and how trustworthy they are. And what you tell kids over and over and over, they hear it, they believe it, and then they become it. That could be a bumper sticker. And the same thing that works for kids works for ourselves. So that's why I'm always telling you to be super conscious about the way you're talking about yourself, the way you're thinking about yourself, and the way you're becoming about yourself. So just like kids, you're going to hear it, you're going to become it, and then you're going to believe it. It's the same thing that happens with kids, happens with us with our own relationship. So not putting labels on yourself is super powerful. So I want to talk to you a little bit about being lazy or procrastinating. Lazy is a very harsh word, but I like using harsh words so we can be like, what is lazy? Lazy is just the act of not wanting to do something that we know we should be doing. Is that a bad thing? No, it just is what it is, what it is, what it is. So if we live in the isness of it, then there's not so much judgment and shame about it, because we get in that negative cycle of I'm so lazy, then we don't do anything, which perpetuates the feeling and the emotion and the belief that I'm lazy. And then we do less and less and less and less. And then guess what happens? The stuff that we have to do gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So that I don't do it. And it just goes away. It actually gets bigger. You can use laundry as an example. For me, I like to use dishes as an example. If I don't want to put away the dishes, which I never do, and I procrastinate, I'm lazy and I don't do it, then it's not like the dishes just go away. They just pile up and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it doesn't make the problem go away. So I really like this video I saw on Twitter, actually, which is now called X, but I always call it Twitter. It's by Scott Adams, which I was not expecting. And he is the creator of the comic strip Dilbert. Remember when there used to be comic strips every Sunday? Get the Sunday funnies. And so I want you to listen to this and I'll talk to you on the other side of it. I thought it was really powerful and really good for our mind to kind of flip it around, because if we manage our mind will not manage us.
What if laziness is a habit of thinking about the cost of things or the effort instead of thinking about the payoff? I'm going to say it again to get a few more heads to explode. What if laziness is nothing but a habit of thinking about the effort instead of thinking about the outcome? What if you could reverse laziness by simply developing a habit of thinking more about the, let's say, the delicious food that you would like to enjoy instead of how long it would take you to get up and go get it? But the real question is, if you were to test this at home and try to see if you can think more about the good outcome and less about the work, would you get it done? Why is it that people have a second child? Why does a woman who goes through this awful, awful childbirth have a second child? Don't they always say the same thing? If I remembered how bad this was, I wouldn't do it again. Right? So the not thinking about the effort is vital to actually the survival of humanity. If we focused on how hard it was to have a baby, you just wouldn't do it, or you do too little of it. But if you focus on how awesome it would be to have a family, well, there you go. You're going to go through the pain because you've already committed. Am I ambitious, or do I simply have a thinking habit which produces dopamine because I'm thinking about the positive outcome? And is the dopamine the thing that gets me up and moving? And when you're observing me, you say, how the hell do you get so much done? And how do I do it? I think it's just this. When I think of all the things I do, I think about them in terms of their benefits. So here's your tip. It's going to change some of your lives. Think about the positive, not about the work, and see what that does to you.
Now, isn't that good? I love this, because if you think about the outcome versus the effort, that's what the only reason why we procrastinate or that we're lazy is that we think about the effort that is going to go into it. Now, this really helped me with working out. So many people think, I just want to be motivated to work out. Once I'm motivated to work out, then I'll start working out. And guess what? You will be waiting at the bus station for the plane to pick you up day in and day out if you are waiting for motivation. That is true with anything. So once I flipped it and I was like, I'm thinking about after the run and all those endorphins that I have, that really helped me get on the motivation train and the momentum train, because the motivation comes after. And it's not really motivation. It's one of inner pride, the endorphins kick in, the happy energy, that pride of just like, you get to enjoy that workout every single day, all day long. Like I like working out early in the morning, and then I get to enjoy the benefits of that workout all day long. Not so much the endorphins still running it, because even if it's just a long walk, it's just that inner pride of like, I made a promise to myself and I kept it. And that is what gets you up the next day, and you think about the outcome versus the effort. So that's something big, like working out. It could be something small. Like I like to think about the dishes in the dishwasher. I do not like unloading the dishes in the dishwasher. I know it sounds easy. For me, I've like really analyzed this, and I've done so much thought work on this. Like, what is it? What is so hard about it? It takes less than a minute sometimes, because we run it every day and there's not much in there. It's not like we have a family of 10. And so like Lily's always eating out, and we're just like, it's not like we're just like, all these pots and pans and just filling up. Now we're on summer. So it's like, it's not even that full, but what is it? And I realize, and I'm not making excuses, but my brain, my misophonia gets triggered with all of the silverware clanging and clanging, and the dishes clanging and clanging, and the bowls. Oh, if I think about the bowls right now, it like gives me the heebie-jeebies. Now, that's a Kelly issue. And so I go to think about doing it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. And I think about the effort. I think about the misophonia that's going to be triggered. I think about all that. And then I've had to have mind management around it. I still do it. And the mind management around it is, why I do it is I cannot handle dishes in the sink. Like that drives me insane. Like a cup or a couple spoons or whatever, no biggie. But when they start piling up, I absolutely lose my mind. And so obviously you can't put dirty dishes in when clean dishes are in the dishwasher. So I don't think about the effort of unloading. I think about the outcome of not having dishes in the sink. Now that seems like a long way around it, but I only know that because I've been conscious about it. Instead of putting it off and being okay with dishes in the sink, I think about the outcome of having no dishes in the sink versus the effort it takes to hear all that clingy. I could just put on my noise cancellation headphones, listen to my Karen Reed trial. If you guys are not following that trial, oh my gosh, by the time this is released, I'll probably have a verdict. Please, for the love of God, make it not guilty, and we cannot have a hung jury. I don't think she's going to be found guilty. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about a hung jury, and we have to do this all over again. I don't think I have it in me to go through it again. Not that I'm Karen Reed or anybody related, but I could do a whole episode. I could do a whole podcast about this case. So, but anyway, I segue. So think about that thing that is needling at you, that gets on your nerves, that annoys you. It could be mopping. It could be vacuuming. It could be not yelling at your kids. It could be washing your dogs. It could be something bigger like opening that business or starting the letter writing. I see a lot of people thinking about the effort versus the outcome, especially in the beginning, because it takes a bit to get like verified, and then you have to figure out your template, and then you have to get the template approved. And then once it's approved, then you actually have to start the writing. So I see a lot of people starting and then stopping suddenly because they're thinking about the effort versus the outcome of having time freedom, of having extra income coming in to kind of alleviate the pressure of the tightrope of the bills, of the day-to-day, of living paycheck to paycheck. So think about the small things, do it on the small things like the dishwasher, and then you can do it on the bigger things that are really holding you back. Like for me, the little would be the dishwasher, and then the big would be the working out and working out consistently. So let me know if that helps you thinking about the effort versus the outcome and how it applied to your life, so then I can use the examples to share with other people. Let me know how it goes. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too. each and every day. Thanks for listening.